Orgy party? Come with me. Let's go. Welcome to Book Talk. I'm your host, Conehead, and today we are talking spicy, spicy, spicy sex. Let's go. Oh, you thought I was for real? No, this is Book Talk. We just read about it. Shh. I won't tell if you don't tell. Listen, this is a great book. But first of all, let's get into this. Okay? Ready? Okay, single person point of view, right? Based on Callista. Callista is your main character who has intuitions, but she's a lowborn. So there's 9 cities. You guys had a fight, right? I'm not gonna do maybe like minor spoilers. So each city there's a ruler, which is a prince. Okay, those are highborns. So we got highborns, we got lowborns, we got just like Game of Thrones, we got, and I'm not comparing this one to Game of Thrones, just in the sense of you to get the hats. My grace, my lord, my grace is higher than my lord. So you got lords, yeah, my grace would be the prince. And then, so they're like godlike figures because they can rejuvenate themselves, which you find that out pretty early. So if they get hurt, they can pretty much rejuvenate themselves. So Callista is okay, I'm only 15 chapters in, so this is my, part 2 of this book. Callista has intuitions. Her intuitions, she can see stuff, and therefore she doesn't really like sex because she sees too much stuff. Yeah, I'm saying the word. Whatever. But this guy, she can't see. Well, we find out sounds like a shield. So, and this guy is Thorn. So, I won't tell you what he is. You can find that out, or maybe I'll do a spoiler review in my next one, where we get a little bit deeper in. What I do like about this book is that she keeps the story more of the point versus the sex, and she makes that, or versus all the smut. Like I said at the very beginning, we're going to an orgy party. It's a very subtle, very nonchalant. It's kind of in the background. So, not that the romance in this isn't really good. I like the tension between them, the relationship. That's my big thing when it comes to books with relationships. And the tension's got to be good. And so far, although some of it's up and down, you kind of don't know. Excuse me. You kind of don't know. Are they getting along? Are they not getting along? Does she like him? Because when you listen to him, he sounds like we're good, and which is really cool because it keeps giving you a lot of questions and a lot of answers, which is a lot of back and forth throughout this story. But the pace of the story is really good. The way they go through the story is really good. So you have the 2 main characters, and you have one of her really good friends. And she is, I don't know the word for it. I forget the word for it in here. But it sounds like what? Is like a prostitute in the world because she's a lowborn. Now, like I said, I think she's going to end up being something else. We just haven't got that revealed yet. 15 chapters deep. So my next chapter will be 16. Right now, it's getting a little hot. Heavy in this story. So we have your Callistias, which you have Callista, her name. And then you have Callistias, which is a highborn that slept with a lowborn and had a baby. And now they're a mix of highborn and lowborn. And the dominions are the highborns higher up. And then you have the Ray. This is the Ray, or the lowborns, is what it sounds like. So the Callistias kind of rule the lowborns, which is who she lives with, right? Yeah? Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you got the highborns, who kind of just rule everything. And then you got, sounds like you got one main king that rules everybody. And then you have a rebellion going on at the same time, and then you also have a black market, which is not, they don't call it the black market, but it's basically the black market, right? So what they're doing in this is they're kidnapping. It's like at the beginning, so it's not too much of a spoil. Minor spoiler: kidnapping highborns, selling body parts on the black market, right? Because they can rejuvenate themselves, and there's a magic inside that. So their body parts are worth something. They go as far as everything is worth something. Everything. You know what I mean? Even yeah, everything is worth something on the black market, or just period. Okay, so these highborns, they get their power too off of pleasure. So Not just like, it don't have to be like we're going at it pleasure. It's any pleasure. If she's having even off their own pleasure, they get this power. So they have their own little pleasure, they get power. If she's just enjoying herself and she's feeling pleasure just from anything that she's doing, they're getting power from that. So I think their power builds up the more pleasure they have, and they're somewhat of a type of. So I went back and kind of reread this by part to kind of get the logistics of what's going on. And even still, it's kind of a little bit, you got to kind of read more and more and more to figure out what exactly is all going on in this book, because there's a lot going on, but they keep it pretty tight. Well, at least that's what he said. But they keep it pretty close on the storyline. So this is so far it's a 5-star for me, because I like the relationship. I like the tension between them. Like I said, there's some pushbacks, and you're like, what the hell? But it answers questions. So it kind of pops questions out at you, and it answers them. So it all relates. And then with everything going on, and like I said, most of the spiciness in this book, it's in the background where it's very subtle. They don't blast you with it. They don't just focus right on that all the time. 15 chapters deep, remember. I'm not that deep, because if it was the God, maybe like she tells you how deep the God. Is this getting too deep? King Devil, then maybe I'd be farther in this, but I'm not too far, okay? Maybe I'm a lowborn. Leave me alone. Anyway, 15 chapters deep, and it's subtle. It's subtle. They keep the story, and they keep that subtle, nonchalant in the background. Even if they're in a party and it's all going down, it's in the background. Now, her intuitions can tell her, which gets her into more stuff, and what caused her to go towards this and find out who is getting kidnapped for this black market, or tortured, or obviously ripped apart, because it's black market, right? That's how your body parts. It's called a different type of market. But what else is cool about this is, like he explained, there was what we would call a ghost, orbs floating around, and he said they're souls, S-O-L, souls, but they're alive. So if you talk about them, they glow brighter, which is cool. But it's all part of the world. Like it's not like a soul like you would think of. Like it's the trees, that's the grass, that's everything around you. Souls, almost kind of like that Avatar feeling of the tree and all those little floating things floating around. It's kind of like I pictured it. You know what I mean? Because I swear, when I'm reading a book, it's like a movie just rolling in my head. That's why sometimes I gotta go back and refigure out what's going on. Look at this is, so far it's a 5. I'm already aiming this in. This is a 5-star book so far for me. It could go back down like some other books did. Some other books start really good and I go back down. I don't think this book's gonna go down. This is a really good book. You should check it out. Like I said, 15 chapters deep. I just gave you like minor spoilers and the majority of what's going on in this book, so you get the clue if you want to read it or not. And this book just came out not too long ago. So if you haven't read it, I would suggest jumping into it, because I think there is going to be a part 2, because I looked it up to see, and it says it sounds like it could be 2 to 3 books. I don't know what she's going to do. But now I want to know the ending too, to figure out what would cause it to go into a second book. But I said, world building, great, everything great so far. I like it. The pace is great. All good. So I'll see you on the next one, guys. Maybe I'll get a little bit deeper into this and come back tonight to do part 2, part 3, whatever it is. See you on the next one.